BARK Radio.
What's good, everybody? It's Robo from All Bark back with another video, and today I'm bringing you part 2 of my top 100 players in college football series. Each part will highlight 25 players, so there'll be 4 videos in total. This will be the first series of a bunch of preseason college football content I have planned for the channel, giving my early insight on my thoughts of the upcoming season. I can't wait to get back in the weekly pick videos, and I have a bunch of other stuff planned, including on the NFL side for the season's picks. That's all I'm going to say on that right now, though, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get right back into the rankings, starting with number 75. Although he's the right tackle, Blake Miller is the leader of one of the best offensive lines in the country for this upcoming season at Clemson. He won the starting job as a true freshman with a strong athletic profile and great technique, and has not missed a single game in his career to this point. I think he could add more size still to improve even more, but regardless, he's as reliable as they come.
Klubnik snaps it. Up in the pocket. In the red zone after the 14-yard run. Here's Klubnik trying to bounce around. Second down and 3. And here is Maffa barrel.
Iowa center Logan Jones is an elite run blocker and did not allow a single sack last season either. He wins off of freakish strength and great blocking technique. He holds the Iowa school record with a 705-pound squat and is one of the quickest linemen in the country. And all of it shows on tape through great leg drive and lateral quickness. Iowa's offense is so run heavy, and even with Gronowski will be again this year, so his dominance will help again in a big way. Rayshawn Benny is someone I'm really excited for this year. After being a rotational starter playing with Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant in the defensive tackle room, he is now the number 1 guy on the interior for Michigan, and he was dominant last year at times. He ranks number 1 in the Big Ten in run defense grade for defensive lineman returners, and because of the depth of Michigan's unit, he's been super versatile. I think he's got a real shot at first team all-conference this season.
Not backing away from the challenge.
Play action on first down. Keane's in trouble. Will go.
Second down and 15. Rosemer, does he have time? No! He goes down for the 4.
Gabe Akis is another strong Big Ten defensive lineman. He's got a good size and a ton of experience. A few years ago, he was a freshman All-American, and he's consistently been productive with his combination of power, length, and versatility. He had a lot of big money offers to hit the portal, but stayed loyal to the Illini and should be in for another all-conference level season and a potential first-round selection in April next year.
Tuttle pressure coming. Down he goes. They get it snapped at 3:35. 4-man rush. Tuttle is going down again. Gabriel again. Too much time to throw. Running out of time.
Ahmad Hardy may not be a household name yet, but he should be, and now after transferring from ULM to Missouri, I'm expecting a lot more eyes to be opened. As a true freshman last season, Hardy ran for well over 1,300 yards and 13 touchdowns, taking home first-team All-Sunbelt honors as well as freshman All-America. He did struggle a bit against SEC competition last year, but he wasn't playing with Power 5 caliber offensive linemen, and his traits as a runner are too good not to translate, so I'm expecting a great year from the sophomore.
22, still on his feet, down the.
He has a man out of the backfield. Hardy gets it to him. He's up to the 31.
Still on his feet. 40.
Dante Corleone has been a beast on the interior defensive line for a long time. This will be his 5th collegiate season and 4th as one of the nation's best. He's nicknamed the Godfather for a good reason. In 2024, he put up 3.5 sacks and an elite run stuffing grade despite missing all of camp with a blood clot issue. And as a result, he landed on the All-Big 12 first team, his 3rd consecutive season with all-conference honors. There's no reason to expect anything less of him with a full off-season of work for 2025.
Get their second touchdown here. Kovic trying to get away. He's being.
South Carolina's Jelon Kilgore is more of a slot corner for the Gamecocks, but is a Swiss Army knife with the versatility. He can play on the boundary, at nickel, deep safety, and even in the box at times and excel. He's a great athlete with strong instincts and closing speed on top of an NFL frame at 6'1", 210. Last season as a sophomore, he caught 5 interceptions and had 5 pass deflections, and was outstanding tackler, which warrants this rating to me.
9 seconds remaining, throwing underneath, and that's picked off if it's good. Inside, Altmaier winds up, going down the field, post route, Gamecocks there, interception.
Ohio State is a known elite receiver factory, and the next guy up for that is Carnell Tate. Tate's a smooth route runner. He has great body control and strong hands, and is in line for a huge year with Egbuka off to the NFL, and obviously having the luxury of playing alongside Jeremiah Smith, who commands so much attention. There's a real shot he can elevate himself into yet another first-round Buckeye receiver this season, putting up over 1,000 yards and some impressive tape.
Hit as he throws, and it's caught.
In Bray Hubbard's first season as a starter for Alabama, he tallied 3 interceptions and a 90 coverage grade, which has a 21 passer rating allowed when targeted. He's a versatile defender that can play in the box, at nickel, or even out wide at times. I believe he's one of the best safeties in America, and I'm expecting all SEC honors this year, paired up with Keon Sabb in the Tide secondary for a second straight season.
On third down, Tatum smacked down, lost the ball.
This is a double pass. Hunter fires into a crowd. Intercepted.
Jonah Coleman is as reliable as running backs can come. In 450 career touches, he has never fumbled the football and has nearly a career 6 yards per carry. He started his career at Arizona and moved over to Washington last season, where he ran for over 1,000 yards and double-digit touchdowns for the first time, and will be a big help to taking pressure off of Damon Williams and making that one of the best backfield duos in college football next season.
Here goes Coleman, the quarterback. Handoff, Coleman bounces left side end zone, touchdown.
I absolutely love Darius Taylor. I'm high on Minnesota running backs for a good reason, but Darius Taylor is one of my favorites. He exploded onto the scene as a freshman, rushing for 800 yards in 6 games, and then followed that up with over 1,300 scrimmage yards and 12 touchdowns in 2024 as a sophomore. Minnesota is being looked at as a potential playoff sleeper, and a lot of it has to do with how well they can run the football, in large part due to Taylor's ability to break tackles, with 83 missed tackles force in his 2 seasons.
Cuts it back, and Taylor's out near midfield.
KJ Bolden was only a true freshman last season and had some size concerns, weighing about 180 pounds, but was good enough to play right away for Georgia and gave up just 1 touchdown in the season, over 350 coverage snaps, ranking top 5 in the country in coverage stops for safeties. Bolden's a strong tackler with great technique, speed, and IQ, and should elevate his play even more in year 2, becoming a true leader for the Bulldog defense.
It's like the ball was intended for him, and able to get the ball back.
Florida edge Tyreek Sapp comes in at number 63 for me. In 2024, he put up 7 sacks, 13 tackles for loss, and 2 forced fumbles, and returns for his senior year to be a part of a special defensive line unit alongside Caleb Banks. What I really love about Sapp is his effectiveness as a run defender on top of the obvious pass rush ability. He's not just a sack specialist and brings a lot of value to the defensive line and should be a big part of an improved Florida team in 2025.
Blitz coming off the edge. Dart under pressure. Down he goes.
Vega Ioane could very well be a first-team All-American interior lineman for the Nittany Lions this season. In 2024, he didn't give up a single sack and just 1 quarterback hit and over 460 passing snaps, and is a willing play finisher when pulling, as we've seen at times with huge pancake blocks. Not only is he huge, but he's got a lot of quickness that allow him to be so effective as a puller. If he cleans up the occasional pressure issues he had last year, like I said, first-team All-American is not a reach of his ability.
Allen with the handoff again, and this time.
Deontay Lawson would have been a 2024 NFL draft pick, but chose to return to Alabama for 2025 after tearing his ACL late in the season. And despite missing a few games with the injury, he still was recognized as a Butkus Award finalist and was 3rd-team All-SEC. It looks like he'll be healthy and ready to go for this season, which is huge news for the Alabama defense, getting its leader back.
And Nussmeier across the middle, throw an interception. Pressure immediately, and Beck is knocked down.
They give it to him. Oh, and he won't. Alabama meets him in the backfield.
It's still unknown whether Rod Moore will be recovered enough to play Week 1 for Michigan this season after a nasty ACL injury in the spring of 2024. But assuming he does come back this season after missing so much time, he still deserves the recognition as one of the college football's best. Across 2 years as a starter in the deep secondary, Rod had 6 interceptions, 110 tackles, and was a clear leader on the field. Michigan has some solid depth if he does need more time, but would obviously love to have their true vocal leader back on the fold this season.
Said get on the edge too. Keeper again. Milrose straight up the middle. Breaks it.
Northwestern left tackle Caleb Tiernan is a massive player with a 6'7", 330-pound frame and a ton of length. As a blocker, he's been a monster in the run game, bulldozing holes open with a mix of power and elite hands to get downhill. And as a pass blocker, it's rare he gets beat through power rushes. His strength, size, and fluidness are just too much for even the bigger rushers in the Big Ten to compete with. Now entering his 5th season, I'm expecting another All-Big Ten year before he heads off to the NFL. Kyle Lewis is one of the most well-rounded linebackers in college football. He's not the biggest guy on defense, but in the 2024 season alone, he recorded over 100 tackles, 22 for loss or no gain, and 32 total quarterback pressures. He's got really solid coverage skills for a linebacker while being a great run defender and attacker. It really would not shock me at all to see him take away some prestigious hardware at the end of the season on top of being an All-American.
Another pass here today.
And I thought run guard could have went to number 6, Luke Hensley. The underneath route, he tried to get too much. Go underneath, but a great job by the pit defender to eyeball him.
Duke's secondary could be one of the best in the country next season, and a lot of it is because of Terry Moore's dominance. He switched to safety from running back after his freshman season, and in 2024 he registered 4 interceptions and 5 pass breakups at safety, while allowing just a 46 passer rating when targeted, and made 7 tackles for loss. A late season injury could definitely impact his ability to play early on, but nonetheless, Terry should be an elite asset for the Duke defense this season.
Intercepted.
They're coming after him.
Evers launches it for Bell. Double coverage, and it's intercepted.
Snap it when they're in the neutral zone.
Duke knew it too. Right, taking his first shot. And coverage over the top.
Cassius Howell made the leap from MAC to SEC last year, transferring from Bowling Green to Texas A&M, and actually performed at a really high level as a rotation piece, having 4 sacks, 9 tackles for loss, 1 interception, and 7 pass deflections on the defensive line. Now as a clear starter, I'm expecting a big breakout from him. His twitch and first step are more than NFL caliber and allow him to explode by opposing linemen and be a constant disruptor.
Because USC is trying to set up a tunnel screen to slot receiver Mekhi.
Miles away from Texas A&M, now facing the Aggies. 3rd and 10.
At 55, I have Alabama nose tackle Tim Keenan, who's a pure run stuffer with a ton of power and strength to help him shed blocks and get in the backfield. He's not an explosive athlete, so at the next level right now he'd be a rundown interior lineman, but his size and effort make him stand out in a major way. You'll have a hard time finding a more reliable run defender in next year's NFL draft, which should definitely make him a day 2 pick in my opinion.
Rushed for 92 yards last year in the game against Alabama. There's nothing there.
Dane Womack and Hugh Freeze remain close friends. Thorne goes down.
David Bailey will suit up for Texas Tech this season after transferring in from Stanford, where he put up a monster junior season on the edge with 7 sacks and 5 forced fumbles. Tech had an incredible portal class this offseason, but Bailey stands out the most. He has lightning quick speed rush ability, but knows how to time it well and throw tackles off balance. This should be a big year for his NFL draft stock, playing in a much better unit in Lubbock.
Leonard pumps once, and down he goes. On the offensive left-hand side, elite pass rusher, highly recruited guy out of Southern California.
I was a fan of Elijah Surratt after his year at James Madison, but then he moved up to Indiana with Coach Cignetti and nearly replicated the season he had, putting up almost 1,000 yards and 8 touchdown catches. Surratt is a super reliable possession receiver who hardly drops anything and is consistently winning contested targets. He's got great ball tracking ability and body control, which make him so elite. And honestly, with Fernando Mendoza at the helm, I'm expecting an even bigger year in store for Surratt in 2025.
Airs it, got a man there, got it.
Look out, he's wide open. Surratt, Elijah.
I've got another receiver next in Clemson's Antonio Williams, who I like just a smidge more than Surratt. Williams has a loaded receiving core around him at Clemson, but stands out to me as the best of the group. Last season, he put up over 1,000 total yards and had an absurd 11 receiving touchdowns. His biggest strengths are his quick release, route running, separation, and elusiveness after the catch. And despite not having great size, he can be a load to bring down, which goes a long way for Clemson's passing game.
Down. Williams. Oh, look at that move. And he's in the clear.
Klubnik with plenty of time. Found his man in the seam. It's caught.
Malik Muhammad is one of the best pure coverage corners in college football, and I think 2025 is the year he breaks out even further. He doesn't have the flashy interception numbers, but he rarely ever gets targeted when he's on the field. Actually, just 12% of passing snaps according to PFF, which is one of the lowest marks in the country. He thrives off his coverage instincts and reaction speed. Now as a junior and stepping into a larger role with Jahdae Barron gone, we'll see if he ends up forcing more turnovers on top of locking down receivers again.
Leon Johnson, the motion man on 3rd and 6. Quick pass, broken up.
That's it for part 2 for my top 100 players in college football series for 2026. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on any of these guys or any ideas you have for content in the future on the channel. As always, thanks for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
BARK Radio.